What's up, everybody? Welcome to SkillWarz, a closer look. I'm impossybull. Today we're going to be taking a look at grenades and the knife in SkillWarz. Now, the gameplay in the background, I wanted to get gameplay with a lot of grenade kills. However, that's super difficult, so I ended up just going knives only against these randoms on map 10. I didn't tell them what to use or anything. It was just me going knives only. I think it's turned out pretty well, so hopefully that's entertaining in the background. But anyway, moving on to the topic of the video, we're covering the grenades and the knife. As I'm sure most of us know, there's two slots for your grenades. You can have a lethal grenade and a tactical grenade. You unlock them from the very beginning. Have full access to all the grenades. There's three types of lethals: the timed frag, the impact frag, and the claymore. There's two types of tacticals: the flash and the smoke. So going over the lethals, the timed frag, you throw it, it'll explode after exactly 3 seconds, doesn't matter what. The damage is 140 damage at the center, and it drops by about 11 per meter, which means it's not going to do any damage past about 12 3/4 meters away. And you only get one of those if you choose it. The impact frags, you get 2 of them if you choose that option, but they do less damage. They only do about 90 damage right if you throw them at someone's feet. And it drops by about 10 per meter, so the blast radius is about 9 meters. Of course, the advantage there is that they explode on impact, but unless someone's already damaged, you won't be able to get a one grenade kill. And for both of these grenades, they take 1 3/4 seconds to throw out. The claymores do 160 damage minus about 18 per meter, which makes the total blast radius slightly less than the impact grenades, but they do much more damage overall. One thing to notice with the claymores, as we all know, when you put a claymore down, it has to be detonated by someone walking into the red lasers, an enemy walking into the lasers, roughly. But the blast itself is actually omnidirectional, so it has a directional trigger, but once it blows up, it's basically like a bomb. Some games like Call of Duty, you can sit right behind a claymore. You can have your nose touching the back of that claymore, and someone walks into it, you won't even take any damage. Not this game. You take the same amount of damage, no matter how far, no matter where you are, in front of, behind, to the side of the claymore. It all just depends on your distance, just like with the regular grenades. So that's it's omnidirectional. That can be good or bad. Sometimes you'll have enemy walk in, but walk past your claymore like they just won't care about it, but their buddy, also an enemy, walks directly into it, and you end up killing both of them. You know, happens sometimes. For you, the main thing to know is don't just camp right behind your claymores. You have to take cover or camp a little bit away. The claymores, one thing to also keep aware of is you can only have 2 of them down at one time. And if you use the extra grenade perk, for any grenade, it'll have a 50-50 chance of giving you an extra lethal or an extra tactical grenade. But if you spawn with 3 claymores, you can still only put 2 of them down before they will disappear. And once you put a third one down, the first one will disappear. Also, if you respawn, claymores don't go away when you die. So when you respawn, you'll have more claymores. Once again, once you put a third claymore down on the map, the first claymore will disappear. Additionally, something to keep in mind is that if you change which class you have, like from Assault to Recon or whatever, even if both of those classes have claymores, the claymores you put down will actually disappear once you change your class. And then addition to that, if you, let's say I have the Assault class on, I have claymores, I put my claymores down, and then I'm like, okay, I want to change my class, still with the Assault class, I just want to modify it to have like a frag grenade or something, right? So I change it to a frag. As soon as you click that save button in the class menu, your claymores will disappear from the map. Fun fact. And the last thing about claymores is that they take 2 seconds to plant down, and then if you're by a claymore, you can hold down the E button and pick it back up, which also takes 2 seconds. Now moving on to the tactical grenades, the easiest one is just the smoke grenade. The smoke grenade, it takes about it has to hit the ground, and then once it hits the ground, after a second or two, it'll start to make smoke. It takes about 3 seconds for it to start smoking, for it to be kind of a full cloud of smoke. That cloud will stay there for about 27 seconds before it starts to disappear. And it'll take about 2 seconds to disappear, so you don't have a whole lot of warning there. The smoke cloud is a random color. It's 10 meters wide. And yeah, and then once again, they take a 1 3/4 seconds to throw, just like the frag grenades. And the flash grenades, however, they will explode after exactly 2 seconds, whether they hit the ground or not. A lot of times people will end up air bursting their flash grenades. They take the same amount of time to throw, which is 1 3/4 seconds. But, so the radius of their effect is about 30 meters. What it is the maximum effect is about 7.5 seconds, minus 1/4 second for every meter you are away from it. However, how it actually works is that if you have the maximum flashbang effect, you will get blinded for about 5.5 seconds, and then it'll take about 2 seconds for your vision to clear from being completely blinded to being completely clear. So that will just decrease as you move farther away. So eventually you will not get blinded at all, and you will just start with being basically blinded, but immediately getting better. And then if you're even farther than that, you won't even get blinded completely at all. You'll just have a very slight effect. I'm sure most of us have experienced that. But that's if you're looking at the flash grenade. If you're looking away from the flash grenade, it's the same thing, except it'll cut out any part of where you would be blinded. So if you're standing pretty close to the flash grenade, but you're not looking at it, you will only have that 2 second effect of being mostly blinded, but it immediately clearing up. Of course, if you're far enough away, you still won't get the full effect. I hope this is making sense. And then, if you're wondering what the angle is, the flash grenade can be basically any angle above or below you. And the angle of effect is about 90 degrees left or right. So it's actually greater than your field of view. In other words, if you just stick your arms out side to side, the flash grenade has to be kind of behind that, even though your field of view is much less than that. So, yeah, and then of course, the flash grenade and smoke grenades do no damage. I think we all know that. Even the flash grenades, you get a hit marker, but it doesn't do any damage. And of course, the very last thing is simply the knife. The knife is pretty easy to cover. It does 700 damage. It actually is affected by the normal body multipliers, which is kind of surprising. But, yeah, that'll be a one-shot kill for anyone who has any amount of health. And I don't think it's affected by what game type you're on, whether it's on hardcore or normal. Even if it did, it wouldn't matter. You can knife exactly 1 time per second. And the only last thing with the knife is that you can change the knife animation in the settings menu. In settings, gameplay, you can change whether to have a stab or a slash knife. Alright, well that's about the end of this episode of A Closer Look. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please do like, favorite, and subscribe. I have tons of these episodes coming out, so please do hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Maybe not the notification bell. If you want to, that's up to you. I'm not going to pressure anybody into anything, but do be sure to subscribe if you like this content. It really helps me out, and you get to see more content. So it's a win-win situation. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.